It's Wednesday, September 18. In the headlines, Prime Minister Andrew Holness rejects some of the findings of the Integrity Commission. In business news, insider stock trades continue in major companies. Regionally, St. Lucia launches Kigali HFC plan to protect ozone layer. And in sports, Diamond League prize money to be increased. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. The Integrity Commission has ruled out criminal charges against Prime Minister Andrew Holness for allegedly making false income declarations. The ruling follows an investigation into Mr. Holness's personal finances from 2018 to 2023, including associated private third-party businesses and transactions. The report was tabled in Parliament on Tuesday. The Integrity Commission's Director of Corruption Prosecutions, Keisha Prince Kamika, cited insufficient evidence regarding the non-disclosure of 4 bank accounts in his asset filings. Mr. Holness, while rejecting some of the findings of the investigation, says that the report has cleared him of involvement in any illicit enrichment.
Over 3,600 transactions were examined. 28 bank accounts, over 80 witness statements collected. This effort to pursue me and my affairs led to the hiring of an international forensic accounting examiner for 6 months. As far as I am aware, only my 2021 declaration was submitted for investigation. After this most thorough interrogation of my personal affairs, which is not in any way connected to public funds or a benefit resulting from my office, they were unable to conclude regarding illicit enrichment.
The Commission said in the report, quote, "There can be no finality," end quote, in the certification of assets for 2019 to 2022 without further probe. However, Mr. Holness says he will be challenging several findings in the Commission's investigation report into his income and asset declarations, citing errors made by the entity.
They concluded that in one of the 5 years they examined, 2022, there was unexplained growth in my net worth of 1.9 million Jamaican dollars, or less than 1% of my total net assets. I reject this finding based on materiality and significance. And while I have not had a chance to fully review the specifics of their calculations, just a cursory review of their formula, I have seen an error in figures they have used in their calculations. And therefore, I challenge this finding on incorrect use of data.
You should know that, according to the Jamaica Information Service, the mission of the Integrity Commission is to combat corruption through the development, implementation, and enforcement of anti-corruption legislation, policies, and initiatives. Meanwhile, President of the Senate, the upper house of Parliament, Tom Tavares Finson, says the Integrity Commission has no power in law to refer an individual for investigation by an authority such as the Financial Investigation Division. Tavares Finson made the statement following Tuesday's sitting of Parliament in response to an Integrity Commission investigation report in which it recommended that both the FID and Tax Administration Jamaica examine aspects of the financial affairs of Prime Minister Andrew Holness. He told the press, quote, "There is nothing in the Constitution, in the laws, and certainly not in the standing orders of the Parliament that would authorize the Parliament to refer or support the referral of any member to any agency for investigation." End quote. Students who sat the Primary Exit Profile or PEP exams in grade 5 this year have shown a marked improvement compared to their performance in grade 4. That's the word from Education Minister Favour Williams, who shared the encouraging results during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
Today, we released the PEP 5 results to regions and to their schools. I'm happy to report that those children who took PEP 4 last year have done noticeably better at PEP 5, and that it is a strong signal that we will see even better results for PEP 6 in 2025. That was the purpose of having the PEP exams over 3 years, so that we begin to develop a profile for each student and can use the time between assessments to work with students and strengthen their understanding of fundamental skills.
Concerns have resurfaced over the complexity of the PEP exam and the pressure it places on students. Despite this, Minister Williams remains confident in the 3-year assessment process, stating that it has been effective in improving children's overall performance.
Mr. Speaker, that strategy is bearing fruit. I will share with you that in language arts, approximately 68% of students achieved proficiency or higher, a substantial increase from 48% who sat PEP in 2023. And in mathematics, 47% of students achieved proficiency or higher, a notable rise from the 25% proficiency rate in 2023 for those who sat PEP 4.
PEP exams are spread over 3 years, starting in grade 4. The results from each year are then averaged to calculate a final composite score at the end of grade 6. The country must seek new markets to drive economic growth. That's the word from Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Auburn Hill. Speaking at Wednesday's post-cabinet press briefing, Senator Hill emphasized that with a small population and a low birth rate, the key to growth lies in expanding exports to foreign markets.
I know we've taken, hundreds of executives, owners and executives, senior executives of companies. We've taken 121 companies since October 2022 to different cities, different countries, including Spanish-speaking ones, which we have never been to before, because we have to find new markets. I want you to understand that the strength of the management of the economy has put us in a position to grow. But if you keep just reducing your debt, you will not grow. You're going to have to grow. So all of us have to get in there in the growth business.
Maritime Authority of Jamaica, MAJ, has several activities planned for Maritime Awareness Week, September 22 to September 28. Here are some of the activities they have planned.
The term maritime relates to navigation or commerce on the sea, and since we live on an island, a vast amount of Jamaica's economy depends on maritime activities. Director General of the Maritime Authority, Bertrand Smith, explains that it is an invisible industry.
Without shipping, we'd have no electricity. Without shipping, we'd have no motor vehicles, no medicine, no basic food items like flour or rice. Without shipping, we'd have no raw materials, no commodities. So shipping plays a vital role in our economy.
He says the theme for Maritime Week is Navigating the Future, Safety First. World Maritime Day will be celebrated on Thursday, September 26, and a lighting ceremony will be held.
We will illuminate the UDC building. The IMO has asked all member states around the world to light up a building in blue to represent the oceans and the maritime sector. We hope that At that ceremony, we will have an address by Minister Darrell Vaz, who is the Minister of Ministry of Science, Energy, Telecommunications and Transport. And importantly, on that day, during that ceremony, we'll recognize the oldest seafarer in Jamaica. He's 91 years old. He's Mr. Richard Ramsey. He talks about wooden ships.
A webinar will also be hosted during the week.
We will collaborate with the CMU in what they call Maritime Mania, where we now engage students to introduce them to the maritime sector. So we have a number of events planned.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Good day, everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Business Report. I'm Denise Williams, your guide through the latest happenings in the world of business. Air conditioning retailer CAC 2000 Limited for the 9 months ending July 31, 2024 reported a net loss of $41.74 million. Operating loss for the 9 months ending July 31, 2024 amounted to $243,363, down 99% from the operating loss of $19.94 million reported in 2023. There continues to be activities where executives of noted listed companies have reported the sale and purchase of their own company stock. Supreme Ventures Limited has advised that a connected party purchased 50,000 Supreme Ventures shares on September 12, 2024. JetCon Corporation Limited has advised that a connected party purchased 36,270 JetCon shares on September 16, 2024. Grace Kennedy Limited has advised that during the period September 4 to 9, 2024, the company purchased 143,248 GK shares under the Grace Kennedy 2023 share repurchase program. During trading for the period of September 17, 2024, the following companies represented the top 3 most active stocks that investors bought and sold on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited, Jamaican dollar shares with 35,584,672 units represented 70.79% of the total market volume in terms of sales. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited US dollar shares with 7,046,483 units representing 14.02% of the total market volume in terms of shares. Radio Jamaica Limited with 1,702,543 units represented 3.39% of the total market volume in terms of sales. Moving from the money moves of investors, executives, and companies, we turn to the Forex market. On September 17, 2024, the Bank of Jamaica reported that US $40.35 million was bought from Forex traders, while US $45.28 million was sold to Forex traders. Buying directly from the Bank of Jamaica, foreign currency traders sold the US dollar for $157.14 and bought the US dollar for $158.83. The difference between the buy and sell rate was $1.69, which represents a profit for Forex traders for every US dollar traded. Canadian Forex traders earned a trading profit of $1.48 from transactions at the Bank of Jamaica. The Canadian dollar was sold at $117.72 and bought for $116.24. For traders looking at the British pound, they pocketed a profit of $3.60, selling it for $209.20 and buying it for $205.60. For our credit report tip of the day, Dealing with a poor credit score while juggling high interest loans can be daunting. However, with the right strategies, you can take control of your finances, pay off debt faster, and position yourself to qualify for the lowest interest rates available. One strategy we suggest is to work with a financial advisor. Seek professional guidance to create a custom debt repayment strategy that's aligned with your financial goals. And with that, we wrap up today's business report. I'm Janice Williams. Appreciate your company. Stay well informed, stay ahead of the curve. Until our next update, take care.
In regional news, St. Lucia's Department of Sustainable Development kicked off its Kigali Plan Stage 1 on Monday at Bay Gardens Hotel, marking World Ozone Day 2024. The initiative focuses on cutting down harmful climate pollutants, known as HFCs, to help protect the ozone layer.
While the world phased out chlorofluorocarbons, which wreaked havoc on the ozone layer, and replaced it with ozone-friendly hydrofluorocarbons, HFCs, they contain up to 9,000 times greater warming capacity than carbon dioxide. On Monday, the Sustainable Development Department initiated the first phase of the Kigali Implementation Plan, which coincides with this year's World Ozone Day observance. The Kigali Amendment is an international agreement to gradually reduce the consumption and production of HFCs.
Now we mark this year, every year, as we commemorate the ozone layer and the importance of protecting the ozone layer to assist us in being protected from the ultraviolet rays of the sun that can harm us and cause cancer and so on. We are also launching our Kigali Implementation Plan today, and that is a really important milestone for us. We have been so successful in our past efforts to phase out hydrochlorofluorocarbons, HCFCs, and we're now turning our attention to HFCs, hydrofluorocarbons. And that is looking at the fact that in trying to reduce the problem of depletion of the ozone layer, we introduced a set of chemicals that contribute, unfortunately, to global warming that causes climate change. And now we have to phase them out. That is the HFCs.
HFCs are greenhouse gases commonly used in a variety of applications, including refrigeration, air conditioning, building insulation, fire extinguishing systems, and aerosols. Sustainable development officials say the Kigali Implementation Plan will help in tackling climate action.
The plan has a number of components. There are 6 components specifically, components to do with policy, as well as gender mainstreaming, monitoring, reporting, and evaluation, as well as capacity building. And the capacity building in 2 components, that is looking at our technicians and looking at other players in the sector as well, to ensure that we are able to work together in phasing out those HFCs.
Technicians are playing a fundamental role in facilitating the implementation plan to reduce the use of HFCs.
So we're working with them in building their capacity and seeing what kinds of policies we need to put in place, how we need to strengthen those, what awareness raising we can put in place so the public can make really efficient, effective, and wise choices where HFCs are concerned, and being able to monitor how we're doing in ensuring that we meet our targets.
The Sustainable Development Department is also receiving support from the Customs and Excise Department in its quest to decrease HFCs. The target is 10% reduction in HFCs by 2029. Gina Filippi, HTS News Force.
In Trinidad and Tobago, we look at the government's multifaceted approach to transitioning from a fossil fuel economy to one which is less dependent on non-renewable resources. Tyrianne Brown-Campbell has that story.
Last week, government unveiled 3 electric vehicle charging stations in the St. Anne's area, more specifically at Queen's Hall. This was the 3rd electric vehicle charging station government installed in recent years. The other 2 are at the University of the West Indies campus in St. Augustine, and at the NP service station in Presal. NGC-CNG's chairman, Dr. Joseph Khan, said this was part of government's larger plan.
We recognize that the energy transition is not about a single solution. It's about an energy mix that balances practicality with progress. Natural gas, the cleanest of all fossil fuels, play a crucial role in this mix and will continue to do so for many years to come, especially as we mitigate challenges with renewable energy due to weather variability and long-term economics.
Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Stuart Young, offered some additional details.
What we're doing is we are trying to lead by example. So I'm very proud of the LED lights, and then even happier about those that are completely solar powered. Those small changes have a very knock-on effect on our energy sector and also on Trinidad and Tobago.
The Energy Minister said the renegotiation of the Atlantic LNG agreements and those with upstream and downstream energy companies are also part of the move to a more sustainable energy model.
What it also has done is it shows us that any of the benefits of moving towards renewable energy have a knock-on effect in terms of cost. You're going to save on electricity consumption, and that domino effect also helps us to utilize the natural gas that we would use normally to produce electricity.
Electricity generation in Trinidad and Tobago is primarily from natural gas.
We can sell those molecules of gas, and that has been one of the particular policies that I've been trying to push over the last few years. The more we can move off of using our natural gas for power generation, is the more we can turn those molecules into revenue generation for the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Minister Young stressed that government has been moving steadily towards transforming the energy sector for the last 9 years.
For me, the last remaining area is power generation, and the more efficient we can get into power generation is the more we can turn around those molecules of gas as revenue for places like Queen's Hall, for the future generations of children, for their education, the healthcare system.
In Grenada, schools on the Sister Isles will officially reopen on Monday, September 30, after being closed since July 1 due to the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl. That's according to the Ministry of Education. More details in this GBN News report.
Preparation for the reopening of schools in Carriacou and PBCJamaica has intensified as the Minister for Education, David Andrew, announced that all schools on the Sister Islands will open on September 30th, 2024. With some facilities undergoing refurbishment, residents currently using the schools as shelters will be relocated to alternative accommodation identified by the Ministry of Carriacou and PBCJamaica Affairs within the next week. At a recent press conference, Minister Andrew stated that the Ministry of Education has already contracted persons to start the necessary groundwork, including deep cleaning of the school buildings.
The team has engaged in a number of visits to Carriacou. We've had over 3 visits, continuously assessing the progress, and our latest visit last week left us very confident after engaging the contractors and monitoring the progress of the work taking place at our various schools, engaging the principals of each of those schools to work out detailed plans that we'd be in a very good position to resume schools. So we have 2 secondary schools, we have 6 primary schools, and we have, I think it's 7 pre-primary schools. And as I said, all of those would have various adaptations.
Special arrangements are being made for 2 of the approximately 15 schools on the islands, Dover Government School and Mount Pleasant Government School, where tents will be used as temporary classrooms due to the extent of the damage caused by Hurricane Beryl. Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, elaborated on this.
Dover School was completely demolished. And so the plan now is to restart Dover on the 30th of September, like the other schools, by the installation of a tent on the grounds of the Windward Preschool. We have the tent in our possession, 2 tents that were donated by UNICEF, and we intend to install the tent on the grounds of the Windward Preschool.
In sports, we lead off today's report with athletics. On Wednesday, the Diamond League Athletics Circuit announced that it will be increasing its prize money to record levels. The new overall figure is US $9.2 million. That's about 1.4 billion Jamaican dollars, almost a third higher than during the COVID-19 period of 2021-2024. Between US $30,000 and $100,000 will be on offer for each discipline at each meeting for the 2025 campaign. The announcement comes 3 months after 4-time Olympic gold medalist Michael Johnson said he was behind a new Grand Slam track league with prize money of around $3 million at that 3-day meeting. Next year's Diamond League runs with 15 meetings in 13 countries between April and September. Turning to cricket. Cricket fans, get ready. The Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League has just launched a special ticket offer for the upcoming eliminator match at Guyana's National Stadium on Tuesday, October 1. Announced on Tuesday morning, the offer gives fans a chance to secure their spots and catch the weekend action live.
In a statement on Tuesday, CPL announced that for every 4 tickets bought for the eliminator match, fans will be given 4 free tickets for one of the matches between Barbados Royals and St. Lucia Kings, which will be taking place at Providence from 10 hours on Saturday, September 21st and Sunday, September 22nd. This offer will last as long as there are tickets available for those matches on September 21st and 22nd and is subject to availability. Those who have already purchased 4 tickets for the eliminator match will also be able to claim their 4 tickets for either September 21st or 22nd from the box office while stocks last. This offer is available exclusively at the Guyana Amazon Warriors box office at 233-234 Cam Street, Georgetown. Chief Executive Officer of the Caribbean Premier League, Pete Russell, said, and I quote, "We hope that this ticket offer makes the cricket at Providence this year even more accessible. The eliminator match will play a huge part in deciding the fate of the CPL Championship this year, and adding in a free ticket offer for a Royals versus Kings match on either the 21st or the 22nd of September, it makes it even better value for families to come and enjoy the cricket." End quote. The Guyana leg of CPL is set to bowl off on Friday, September 20th, with the first of 11 matches over a 2-week period. For the 3rd year in succession, Guyana will host the playoff matches and grand final on October 6th, following the Guyana Amazon Warriors home matches.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. I'm Simone Avsalom Gale saying pleasant viewing.